You know that creativity in the film industry is not only dead, is not only pistol whipped 6 feet underground and buried alive, but you know that there is not a shadow of a doubt, there is not a trace of hope that we will ever return to a time when film was thriving, when it seemed like every single week there was a heavy hitter coming out in every genre, right? Like back in the day, whether you were a fan of the action movies, the sci-fi movies, the thrillers, the horror, the rom-coms, even the romance movies were better back then, and I can't fucking stand romance. Makes me want to fucking puke my guts all over the floor. The animated movies were better. You had people actually trying, but yet at some point between 20 years ago and now, oh God, the millennials and Gen Z, well, they replaced creativity and passion with laziness and greed, and thus, out of their fucking assholes, they do shit upon us. Minions, the rise of Gru. Now let's get one thing straight here, people. Minions has never been good. Despicable Me has never been good. All right, you talk about following around this bald-ass, pointy-nosed motherfucker. Steve Carell's doing an incredibly racist accent. All right, incredibly racist. I'm surprised this shit got released. I'm surprised people like it. I mean, you figure with our PC culture, how easily offended the Karens and social justice warriors of the world are, that someone over there in Mother Russia hasn't fucking started a boycott, because this is about the most offensive accent I've seen in 20 goddamn years. Steve Carell pretended to be a souped up Russian super soldier like he's straight out of one of those 1980s propaganda films. I shit you not. If you haven't seen this motherfucker in Despicable Me or Minions, don't do yourself a favor, just avoid it. Avoid that fucking movie. Avoid it like the plague, because that's exactly what it is. And now these screaming, whining little brats in the 2 to 6 year old range, they are fascinated, bro. They are in love with these little yellow dots. That's what they are. They're dots. You know the candy dots? That's what these fucking minions are. They look like, actually, you know what they look like? They look like a pill. They look like about 150 milligrams of Prozac, which I guess is starting to imprint on the children's brains, so they're going to be overly medicated, expected to fall in line, fall into the workforce, go into massive amounts of debt to secure a career that they hate so that they can buy shit that they don't need. Corporate America, indoctrination starts with Minions. What a fucking joke. What an absolute despicable, you see what I did there? Despicable practice by a shitty company known as Universal. But hey, I shouldn't be surprised that Universal is milking the ever-loving shit out of Despicable Me and Minions. Because as soon as something catches an ember, they have to fan it into a goddamn flame. And even when the flame is burned out, even when there is only smoldering ash, even when the fire is long gone, you can bet your fucking ass and your bottom dollar that there will be at least 10 sequels following after the flame went out. Case in point, Fast and Furious. Universal holds the rights to the Fast and Furious. In actuality, the only place that should hold the rights to the Fast and Furious franchise is the local graveyard, because that series has been beaten so far and milked so much past the point of expiration, it is a recurring meme. Vin Diesel having come out and stated he literally wants to take the fucking franchise to the moon. He wants to be driving his souped up Charger on the moon, ladies and gentlemen. That makes me so scared for the future of this goddamn Minions franchise. Because if you watch the trailer, it's clear that what maybe ounce of creativity there was in the original Despicable Me has long since been gone. Steve Carell is clearly accepting these roles in exchange for a paycheck to inflate his fucking bank account. God knows that man doesn't have enough money. He could live off the Office royalties, and he could donate every goddamn penny he gets from this movie to curing starvation, to curing hunger in third world countries. You think that motherfucker gives two shits about the real problems in the world? Absolutely not. Neither does Universal, neither does Illumination. Both of these companies should be shut down immediately for public endangerment by bestowing upon us the most stupid, the most milked, the most creatively bankrupt, and the most regurgitated movies I've ever seen. And believe me, this isn't sour grapes. I've seen shitty franchises get even shittier from other companies. I have been with the MCU since day one, okay? I have been with Star Wars since day one. That's right, I'm an OG Star Wars fan. I was there back in the day watching fucking Ben Kenobi train Luke Skywalker on how to use the lightsaber when you weren't even swimming around in your daddy's nuts. Don't at me, fanboys and fangirls. This isn't some boomer revisionist history. These are facts. These are cold, hard facts. And just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't true. The biggest lesson that your generation never learned, and the generation that will cost us the future. Mark my fucking words. That lesson alone. You traded in creativity. You traded in actual art for safe spaces and coddling. Your entire generation is a joke, and it proves it. With the animated movies, back in the day, man, you had actual creativity. You had fucking Toy Story coming out, literally kicking the doors down on 3D animation and taking it to the fucking man. Literally changing the game. Meanwhile, now, everybody who made Toy Story, everybody who had a fucking hand in that film, if they're not dead, they're rolling in their graves, and if they are alive, they are shaking their fucking heads at Minions, The Rise of Gru. Minions, The Rise of Gru? How about Minions, The Rise of Regurgitation? Because that's exactly what this is. There is absolutely nothing that you will see in this film that you did not see in the original Minions film. There is absolutely nothing in either of the Minion films that you did not already see in Despicable Me or Despicable Me Part 2. All right, because Universal are so scared about protecting their bottom line that they will cash in on the stupidity of modern audiences if it means protecting their bank account. There was a time that fucking film studios were competing not to make the most money, but who could make the best movie, because they knew if they got people talking that at the end of the day, word of mouth, online forums, the message would spread. And people would go see it because they want to know what everybody's talking about. That hasn't happened in about 25 years. I shit you not. It has not happened in such a long time, and I blame you. I blame every single person who has paid a ticket to all of these shitty, third-rate, fucking D-tier animated movies like Minions, like The Croods, like all these washed-up Disney animated films, The Princess and the Frog. The fuck is that shit, bro? Or Ron's Gone Wrong, or Turning Red, or God, at Canto. Literally every single one of these makes me want to go grab my fucking 357, load a bullet in the chamber, spin that motherfucker, and start playing Russian roulette, because I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be here with these shitty films dominating the landscape any more than you want to be forking out money to support these trash films. But guess what? I guess I had more faith in you than I should have. Because at the end of the day, you and your snot-nosed brats are going to be lined up day fucking one to pump money into Universal so that they can start pre-production on Minions 3, The Rise of Indoctrination, starring you.